Well, Congressman Tracy Mann of Kansas hosted a food and ag listening session this week with House Ag Committee Chairman Glenn G.T. Thompson as a special guest, and it focused on a number of issues from crop insurance to trade regulations. He joins us now from Salina, Kansas for a recap. Congressman, thank you for the time. I know you're extremely busy. We appreciate you being here. If you can give us a little background on the event and some of the highlights from the discussion.
Yeah, so we hosted the farm bill listening session on a farm in central Kansas, a fantastic event. We had combines, we had American flags, what a farm bill listening session ought to be. We had tremendous turnout, and a couple of issues rose to the surface right away. Crop insurance is such an incredible risk management tool for producers. The importance of getting conservation programs right. That came up as well. We need to look at the limits of some of these programs, and we got to make sure this farm bill reflects the needs of modern day production agriculture.
I was going to ask you about that. It seems like crop insurance, definitely one of the main priorities that you're hearing as far as farm bill discussions go.
It's such an important risk management tool. We all know that. And I would argue the most successful public-private partnership in American history, and is tremendous. There will be efforts potentially to weaken it, diminish it, chip away at it. We need to strengthen it, fortify it, make it better better for the producers that actually use these programs and rely on them for survival from year to year.
Well, Congressman, I'd like to switch gears right now. Your legislation to remove the lesser prairie-chicken as endangered passed in the House last week, and the Senate has just passed a similar resolution. What do you think's next? Where do we go from here?
Yeah, so this is called a CRA, Congressional Review Act. It gives Congress the ability to strike down administrative actions, basically. It's passed the committee in the House. It now goes to the floor, hopefully in the next week or two. It did pass the Senate, which is a good thing. And this will send a message to the administration that heavy-handed federal regulation is not the way to deal with this. We need bottom-up approaches. The conservation practice we've been using works, and this will be very detrimental to production agriculture, the oil and gas industry as well, if these regulations go through.
Well, another big topic, of course, Congressman, is the WOTUS rule. What are your hopes for legislation as the ag sector continues to look for clarity on this? Yeah,
it's remarkable that our ag producers will deal with the third or fourth definition of water in the last 5 years. It's remarkable. Of course, the House passed, I strongly supported efforts to strike down this regulation. Is not going to move forward because President Biden vetoed it. But it did send a message to the administration that the majority in Congress and the House side does not approve of this regulation. This is now going to be litigated. This is going to be fought out in the courts. Unfortunately, a lot more to come here. But the notion of the federal government being able to regulate and monitor farm ponds, drainage ditches, far beyond the purview of what the federal government ought to be doing.
Absolutely. All eyes on that topic as well. And of course, Congressman, I know that you're in Kansas there. What are you hearing from growers as planting season is underway now?
Well, Kansas is in a severe drought. In parts of our state, especially the western half, it was a dire drought 6 months ago, and we've gotten very little rain since then. Got a little bit of moisture last week, but we are way behind. So this drought is front and center on everybody's mind. It impacts our row crop producers, our wheat growers. It also impacts our feed yards, dairies, and everyone else. So the drought is first and foremost on everybody's mind, certainly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Congressman, for your time. I appreciate you being here. Congressman Tracy Mann of Kansas, again, thank you for taking the time out of your day.